somebody had a piece of land they wanted to sell us or wanted to buy of ours, but we can't talk about that except in camera, right? So they want to talk to you on the street about it, but I can't really have an opinion because I have to have 8 other opinions. So you would say, well, if you want to come to council, you have to go through the delegation thing, but it would just be part of this. That's what I want to know. It doesn't say in camera here.
It would start out as correspondence or a request for council, and then come as a, and then council would decide whether they want to receive in as a delegation.
So in camera.
Or in camera. In camera correspondence.
The CAO would determine that. When there was a land deal, the CAO would say, I received this correspondence to council, how would you like to proceed? And then we would arrange for the in-camera meeting with the presenter.
Yeah.
So
Instead of a delegation request in camera, it would be a correspondence to the CAO, and how's the best to handle this, and it would be through correspondence to council to talk about it.
And then that was really CAO.
And then if there's a request for a further in-camera meeting, go that way. Okay? Right.
So I'm just through you to Carol. Carol, could you give me an example of a time that a delegation would come, if it's a decided matter on by council, that they wouldn't know that it would require a board reconsideration to even discuss the matter with council, and so it basically would be a moot point if council had no interest in reopening it, right?
And that is an issue. We've had that before, and I'll say to people, council has made a decision on that, and council will need to reconsider that. So that's a chicken and an egg. We don't know, we as staff don't know if council would agree to reconsider the matter until it comes before you, so.
They'll be taking a risk, right? As long as they're aware of that.
Oh, I do make them aware, and we've only had a few of those, say a road issue, and council's decided, no, we're not gonna proceed with that road issue. If the person wants to come back and say they have new information, I'll say to them, that is a decided matter, and council will need to agree to reconsider that.
Yes.
But again, until you get the request, you're not obviously going to reconsider it, because you're going to want to know what new information there is. And
Yeah.
so it is a chicken and an egg thing, so.
So in most cases, they would have additional information or.
They're supposed to
information
provide
they want to
new
supply.
information.
Mhm.
And I think it says in the procedure bylaw that if council's already made a rule, unless it's new information, you're not supposed to come back, so.
And then just the other second, if I could, just quickly, is when it says that a delegation would be, the request would be denied if it's not within council's jurisdiction, and that would mean that maybe sell or win discussions would actually be excluded from delegations. Is that what you're thinking?
Again, council's business is to make decisions on council's matters, and that is not a council matter. You can support them, you can say, I would support them going to the NPP or whatever. Councilor Ronstill did bring up a good point. Who, are you supporting everybody? Like, so if you get 5 vocal people saying, we don't want wind turbines, is that a general indication of all of the land controllers, or is it just those 5 people? So it's very difficult for council, I think, to make those kind of decisions on items that aren't within your jurisdiction. A good example, and it's kind of off topic, but it isn't, land controllers, or Bazango used to give money to the Red Cross every year, and then one gentleman said, one of our staff said, why are you giving money to that? You're making a decision on my behalf, and I'm not telling you that I support the Red Cross, so why are you doing that? So, again, it's sort of a little bit similar with the wind turbines. If council going and saying, we don't want them, but then there's some of the people in the community where we're making quite a nice little bit of extra income getting them, and then all of a sudden the wind turbines don't come. I'm not sure.
So
the
that
delegation
close out that opportunity for them to bring their issues to us, right? And then we can decide what role we want to play. We can, escape from dealing with it as not our jurisdiction, or we can say, like, we're going to take a vocal role simply because we have the influence of our political office, period, right? Even though it's not our jurisdiction. I just don't think we should be excluding that necessarily. I think it limits us.
I guess I would think it would depend on the delegation if they were talking about the controls and the protection of the roads dealing with turbines, or whether it's a yes or no to the turbines. It's a chicken and egg and a fine line. How do you do it? Councillor Bonsi.
yeah, and I think that's the issue. Is there are some aspects in terms of fire protection, that type of thing, that we may have some say over, but I think in most part, and that's really what I was going to ask you here, Carol. So that we don't have any more delegations on democracy, I guess the The question I was gonna ask you is that should we have a requirement in here that says, you must submit the materials, the learning materials that you're going to present during your delegation at this time? If we don't get your materials, you don't have your delegation.
And that's what I tell people, but then I don't really have that authority, they
Yeah,
don't
let's-
provide it,
let's
so
put it
that's
in
why
writing.
I'm wanting your support, because if I do say that to somebody,
Yeah,
and then they go to you and they say,
yeah.
they didn't let me come, and then you say, why? And they say, well, because I didn't provide my stuff, you can say, well, that's our policy,
It's
we
like-
need to provide it.
It's like agenda items being submitted, if it's in writing, there's the time you
And
have.
that's what you're to talk to, because again, it's the ambush
Yes.
thing that,
Oh, hey,
that
we-
Nigel talked about, somebody says, I wanna come to talk to you about this, and all of a sudden they're,
Yeah.
they're
And
something
then
else,
the
that's not.
the other thing I'd like to see in here too, to give it some teeth, and this will help you out as the chair, is that the information that you're going to submit as a delegation will be the only information that you speak to during the delegation. So, we don't wanna see information come out and then there's the ambush, the quick dodge, and well, here's the learning material, but really the reason I'm here,
Right,
right?
that's the whole.
And I
purpose,
think
for
we
you
need
to
that in-
know.
Yeah, we need that in writing, that it says, if we don't get it by this time, if it's not consistent with what you told us you're gonna do, your delegation will be cut off. And the other thing, I don't know if you have in here, and it probably wouldn't have helped, but the one meeting the presenter didn't show up,
Right,
someone else may have. I don't know if you can put an RSVP date in here that says if you're gonna cancel, give us 24-hour notice or we'll charge you for the visit.
I think that one was a snowstorm, I think,
Oh, everyone
and
else
that-
may.
Well, there was one other one that he didn't, there was miscommunication there, so, yes.
Councillor Russell and Councillor.
Yeah, I think what we have here is a good way of doing it, and I think we can clarify it for that purpose, and it will make our thing go along, but I think it's really important, we were just talking, that we've got in the report, we've now got the Thursday meetings, we've got a bonus now, we've got this really neat bonus. We might as well take advantage of the bonus, and if those people can supply all the information through their delegation to us, or even links to a site, I don't care what that gives us in advance, I mean, democracy, I mean, that's a perfect example, but that's well said. I think we got that right.
Councillor Scott.
I like the concept of being able to give Carol the right to say no. And I also would like her to have the ability to, if the same people are coming back over and over and over again, and they're just saying something in a different way, the answer is no.
We're not
You've had
limited
your
to the
chance.
editor, right?
Like we've had a number of same things over and over, and we've sat here through it, and, I mean, it didn't change the decision-making process, it was just the way it was, so do it all or not, and 10 minutes limit, and you're done.
You want me to use the time clock?
Yes, absolutely.
And that is something too, we get complaints about too, somebody says, well, you said 10 minutes, and somebody else wasn't, so that would be nice to keep it to 10, and I do tell people 10 minutes. But one point that Councillor Russell made
We should have kept this to.
well, this is your discussion, Councillor.
I know it's a discussion, Councilman, we're doing that, but I
We
know
don't
you
have
got
a motion yet, so.
Councillor Russell.
I have to disagree with the 10 minutes, and I'll be very simple about it. I personally think 10 minutes is exactly what the guideline is. It's up to the chair to do it with the acquiescence of this council. For example, Mr. Mayor, you have at times allowed it, and other times not allowed it, and people could question that. But the point of the matter is, I think with our acquiescence, sometimes maybe that discussion should be a little fuller, just because within the subject range, only within the subject range, that may be the inquiry. And that's called being open-handed versus, oh, well, you're done, get out of here, type of thinking. I mean, let's be honest.
You could
If
ask.
you use it, no, if you use the process that they use in the Planning Act, right, which is very open-handed, right? It's like, is there anybody else who wants to say anything? You go down to the Drainage Act, is there anybody, it's that open-handed, and I think you can do that within reason, right? Am I correct?
The Planning Act and the Drainage Act are public meetings.
Well, I understand that.
And they have to-
We're not public meetings, I've understood that before. I'm talking about open-handed
Open
approach,
meeting, yep.
and you should be allowed that within a level. But that's with this acquiescence, not just doing
You know,
it.
that's a slippery slope, John.
Why?
But I've always done that, because I've always allowed.
Oh, I know that,
What if he gives 5 minutes more to someone who's perceived to be his friend than he does to someone?
And I've been accused of that
Yeah,
too.
the
so-
rules are the rules. If you have planning issues, drainage issues, why don't we have them on a Tuesday? Right? That's, confine them to a Tuesday, and these other delegations